Have you ever stood in a quiet hallway, holding a leash, listening to a dog growl from the next room, and realized you're not in a standoff, but a silent experiment? That was me, one late night, babysitting my family's dogs. The house should have been simple: snacks, backyard, bedtime. But Milo, the nervous one with worried eyes, darted down the hall, slipped behind a door, and vanished into the shadows. I heard the low, uneasy rumble from the back room. Not barking, not whining, just a warning. I know you're here. I don't know if I want you close. My mission was simple: everyone outside before midnight, everyone safe, and everyone calm. But that mission changed the moment I realized this wasn't just a dog hiding. This was a dog collecting evidence. At first, I did what most people do. I called his name, gentle and bright. Nothing. I rattled the treat jar. Nothing but a sharper growl. I peeked around the doorframe, trying to look as small and harmless as possible. He watched me from the farthest corner, body pressed against the wall, eyes wide and unblinking. I thought, he's just being stubborn or difficult, or maybe he doesn't like me. I felt the pressure of the clock, the expectation to just get him outside, and the quiet guilt of ruining someone else's bedtime routine. But then, something tiny changed. He shifted, just a paw's width, so he could see me better. He didn't leave the room, he didn't come closer, but he watched every move I made. I realized he wasn't avoiding me, he was studying me. Every time I moved, he tracked me. When I turned away, he peeked around the door. When I set down the leash and sat quietly in the hallway, his body softened, just a little. When I reached for the treat, he tensed again. When I sighed and leaned back, he watched, then blinked as if filing the moment away. This was not a dog avoiding everything. This was a dog avoiding uncertainty, and that changed the whole mission. I started to treat the night like a quiet experiment. Every little action, mine and his, was a clue on a detective board. The rest of the house became background noise, soft paw sounds, a rug by the door, and the kind of quiet routine a nervous dog can study. I tried a new approach. I didn't talk. I didn't call his name. I just sat, slow and still, letting the night stretch out. I let him see me put the treat down and slide it just inside the room, then back away. No pressure, no sudden moves. He watched every step. When nothing bad happened, he inched forward, sniffed the air, then retreated. I felt the urge to rush, to just get it done, but every time I did, he froze. So I waited and waited. The clock ticked past 11:30. The house felt suspended, one dog's trust hanging in the balance. That's when I noticed something even smaller. He started studying the routine around him. When paw sounds moved toward the back door, he watched. When the kitchen went quiet, he peeked around the corner. He wasn't just following the noise, he was collecting evidence. Every calm moment, every predictable action, every safe routine was a clue that maybe, just maybe, I was safe to trust. Researchers call this social referencing, and it made everything click for me. Dogs, especially anxious or fearful ones, watch us, routines, and the whole room to decide what is safe. They're not just reacting. They're running quiet experiments, collecting proof, and waiting for patterns to add up. It made me rethink every growl, every sidelong glance, every slow blink. These weren't obstacles. They were questions. Are you who I remember? Will you do what I expect? Will you force me, or will you let me choose? So, I changed my experiment. I made my movements smaller, more predictable. I sat in the same spot. I repeated the same calm routine at the door, always the same way. I put the leash down, then picked it up, then put it down again. I made every action a routine. No surprises, no sudden grabs, no gotcha moments. Milo watched, and eventually took a step forward. Not to me, not for the treat, just a step into the hallway where he could study the whole scene at once. I barely breathed. The whole house stayed calm. Milo sniffed the air, checked the open door, and slowly walked past me, out into the open. I didn't reach, I didn't cheer. I just watched him claim his space, tail low, but no longer tucked, body ready, but not frozen. He stood by the back door, waiting. I opened it, slow and steady. He hesitated, then slipped outside, glancing back just once to see if I'd follow. That tiny choice told me more than the growl did. It wasn't about forcing trust. It was about being predictable enough that he could test and decide for himself. Science backs this up. Dogs learn who to trust by watching for patterns. They notice our routines, our tone, our patience, and our mistakes. For fearful dogs, every action is a data point. Trust is not given. It's earned, one calm, predictable moment at a time. As I waited by the door, listening to paws moving in the grass, I realized the win was not getting the dog outside. The win was not cashing in all those trust points at once. The real win was letting the dog collect enough proof to make his own choice. When he came back in, he paused by the door, looked up at me, really looked, eyes soft, mouth relaxed, and walked past, back to his safe spot. I didn't need a hug, or a wag, or a thank you. I just needed to know he felt safe enough to come back inside. That night changed how I see every fearful dog. I stopped asking, "Why is he so difficult?" and started asking, "What evidence is he collecting?" If you have a fearful, shy, or slow to trust dog, you are not failing. You're in a quiet experiment every day. Your dog is not hard to love. They are asking if you are safe enough to trust. Try this. Next time your dog hides, growls, or avoids you, watch for the tiny clues. The way they peek around a doorway, the way they copy a calm routine, the way they blink or sigh or shift their body a little closer. Everyone is a clue. Everyone is a tiny vote for trust. If you've ever had a breakthrough with a fearful dog, a moment where they finally chose you, even for a second, share your story in the comments. Like, subscribe, and join Greet. We're not just learning about dogs, we're learning to be the kind of people dogs can trust. See you next time.